session, and the theme is AI versus human intelligence. Yeah, that's a great one. I agree. I agree. It's heavily packed with our panelists. These are some of the panelists.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm sharing with him because he's all over the place.
Impacts of AI on creativity and the future of jobs.
I'm so proud of you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right, so moving swiftly ahead, we have our first panelist coming on stage, goes by the name of Adeboyega Adesina, who is a self-taught Nigerian visual artist. For his figurative painting style and symbolic themes, his work, which reflects his connection to his environment, has been showcased at major art fairs like the Frieze in London, the Amory Show in New York, and FNB Art Fair in Johannesburg, with pieces held in prominent collections worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Adeboyega Adesina.
Wow, beautiful. You guys can do better than that. You can put your hands together. Thank you so much.
Have you showcased in New York?
Okay, I'm inviting a personality who is a marketing strategist with nearly a decade of experience in industries like advertising, real estate, and health tech. Has led growth across 10 African countries, specializing in areas like paid acquisition and product-led growth. As the founder of the Growth Camp, Damilola has trained over 1,000 professionals through free courses aimed at advancing their careers. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Damilola Roberts.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Moving swiftly ahead, we have the managing director of Pulse West Africa, where she leads innovative digital strategies for clients and media brands. She has a background in journalism and brand management, including roles at ABC News and Unilever. She brings both creative and strategic insights to her work. She holds a BA in journalism from the University of Maryland and an MBA from Rotterdam School of Management. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, please a round of applause for the amazing Fiona Weeks.
Fiona! Oh my God. Pulse, right?
Yes, the MD of Pulse.
MD Pulse.
Yeah.
MD, good to see you. MD, you look so amazing.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for looking finer than even the Gen Zs that own the Z.
Wow.
Thank you so much. A former aspiring diplomat, Dennis Mary Chidiebere is now the CTO and co-founder of Circle, focusing on product innovation and scaling startups. Beyond this tech expertise, he has a deep interest in social finance, microeconomics, and the implications of AI on future warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dennis Mary Chidiebere.
All right, thank you. And of course, last but definitely not the least, we have our moderator for this panel session. He goes by the name simply Toba. He is an excellent master of ceremonies. He says he's a fine boy extraordinaire. But you said that's what I should say.
He's married, by the way.
No, but backstage, you said I should say it.
He's married, and he didn't invite me to his wedding. He's a close friend, actually.
He actually said I should say it.
Okay, he told you to tell everyone that he's a fine boy.
He even said I should say he's a sugar daddy.
Wow. Okay, that's why that explains the end.
Okay, please. Let's welcome Toba.
Toba Samuel
to the stage.
Cinematographer, fine boy, gigolo. Sorry. See you later.
We're very sorry. Please take it away, Toba.
All right. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to apologize to all of you. I never mentioned sugar baby, sugar daddy. What I said was I'm a sugar baby, and anyone that has money to spend on me and my wife, you can contact me afterwards. So, yeah. Yes, both of us. We're a package deal. So, yes, we're a sugar family, so to speak. All right. Welcome, everyone. This is the fun session. This is the impact of AI on creativity and the future of jobs. But before we go ahead, I'm curious, how many people here have used any AI tool? Show of hands. Fantastic. Oh, so people over there have never used AI. If you use AI to write a report at any point in time, show of hands. All right, to edit a photo, video, fantastic. So we're very comfortable with the idea of AI. But some people strongly believe that AI is a phase, like it's going to come and it's going to go. But we're here to tell you that first off, AI is not going anywhere. It's not. You might think it's a bubble that's okay. People thought the same thing about the internet as well in the early days. So that's the first thing. But beyond that, right? We're creatives, we're creators, we're building interesting content for ourselves and also for the world. What role does AI play in that creativity? And what role do we play as well in this new world where your employer is telling you, listen, I can do this thing by myself with 10 minutes on ChatGPT. So how do you thrive? How do you grow? How do you find work? All right. And we have the best people to talk about it. We have an artist, we have marketing geniuses, we have creators and founders. So please pay rapt attention as we jump right in. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all being here. We're going to have a fantastic time. Okay. So jumping in, I have a question that I want everyone to just chime in on. And that's, I'm curious to know what we think about the ethics of using AI for content creation and branding, artistry, whatever you call it, right? Some people believe very strongly that if you use AI, you are the spawn of Satan. Like, they believe that that's the original sin that caused the fall of man, right? So what are your thoughts about it? I'll start with you, sir.
Yes. Thank you for that. I think for me personally, I'm not speaking on behalf of Seco generally, but what I see with AI is like we are like in a space where we have these LLMs, I mean large language models, ChatGPT, Cloud, and so many of them. Twitter has Grok now. It's not a bad thing to use AI generally, but the bigger question, and the last section talked about intellectual properties and stuff. I think there is a dichotomy between who actually owns this stuff. Is it the platform giving you the answers, or is it the person putting in the prompt? So for me, I think there is, for platforms like us generally, we use AI. We have an AI lab at Seco. We do a lot of stuff with AI. And I always advocate for ethical use of AI on a platform level. But us individuals, you're a consumer, you can't really do anything about it. But as platforms, you have a responsibility to manage how you do that and how you use that to affect people's life, basically. So for me, I think as individuals, AI is a healthy argument. Just do whatever you want to do. But as platforms, we are held to greater responsibility than the normal individuals.
Absolutely fantastic. I love that ethical responsibility. You have a responsibility to use AI in an ethical manner. All right, so Fiona, what are your thoughts? If only we had AI that will help us turn on the mics.
I agree generally. So I mean, I think AI is no different than the same ethical challenges we had with the internet, right? Even to this day, there's people who use the internet unethically. We have Yahoo boys, we have scammers, we have whatever it is, right? So yes, I think it's just gonna give in with any tool, any technology, we need to do it ethically. I know for us at Pulse, for example, we have journalists. We have a whole team of journalists that are creating content on our website or on our social media pages. And yes, we are using AI in some of that content creation. And one of the things that we do is that if we ever are using AI, it's going to be stated in the article, in the social media post, so people are aware. I think on social, it's where it's more important because there's a lot of tools where, you can make it look like somebody has said something that was not actually said. There's video tools, and that's where it really needs to be stated. Yes, it can be fun, it can be funny, but it's important that from an ethical standpoint, you're letting people know when it's AI and when it's not, and then they can make judgments from there.
All right, thank you very much.
Awesome. I think I agree with what the both speakers said. First and foremost, if you are not using AI right now, it has your own disadvantage. However, understanding how to use it properly is the best way to go. So I was reading a conversation around somebody who published a book, a novel written by AI. Then the company sued for copyright, right? And this conversation will continue to happen until we have like regulatory framework around how these things will work. The last panel we were talking about regulatory framework. And because it's so global, every institution, every country would need to have like a local regulation. However, there also needs to be an international framework around it. Because if I use ChatGPT that is not registered as a Nigerian company in Nigeria to write a book around Yoruba culture, how do you want to sue me for that? Right? So understanding how this thing works as an individual, even as a corporate organization, is very important. In my team, I encourage people to use AI. As a matter of fact, if I give you anything, the first thing I will say, what is ChatGPT saying? Then what do you think about it? Right? How does this affect the overall company objective? Because you are supposed to think from the strategic point of view, why AI would think from the tool point of view, right? So I think it's super important, but understanding how to use it as an organization is pretty important, and that's what we need to start talking about.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm going to come back to that, but I just want you to just touch on that as well. As a visual artist, as someone who, it feels like the battle with AI is at your doorstep. Artists of all types, shapes have been fighting AI concerning all the things around how the data is sourced in the first place, the consent of even the artists, because sometimes the consent of the owners of these arts is not, they're not gotten before they're fed into the LLM, right? So what are your thoughts about, I guess, AI in this new age?
Thank you for the question. And I would say that as a visual artist, I mean, from the name visual artist, our works are largely dependent on visual execution. And so as a traditional painter, I don't think AI is a threat. I see it more like a best friend, because AI has only come to like play the role that every other person in your life will play. Like, take for example, you make a write-up and you want someone to vet it for you. That's literally what AI is doing for you. And if you look at your social media platforms, everyone is trying to like incorporate that, just to have everything one step away, basically. So I mean, there are other careers in the art field, curator, and all of that. Possibly it's going to be more of an advantage for them because they do more of words than actual like physical painting or
Yeah, but this is very interesting, right? Because I honestly was expecting you to be like, oh God, all AI must die, you must kill them all. Because that's the sentiment I've seen on my side of the internet, right? And this is for Yadibuega, which is just that as a visual artist, right, do you think of art generated from AI as actual art, right? Or because there are folks called prompt engineers, and their job is to feed the best types of prompts or the best types of questions into whatever language model they're using to get the best results, right? So if they do that and then the person says, oh, man holding gun in front of a baby, but the gun is a chicken and stuff like that, and it brings some fantastical art. So the question is, do you count that as actual art, or is that, to you, it's not real art?
So for traditional painters, I'm a traditional painter, every art piece is supposed to complete a cycle. There are 3 phases to it. The phase of conception, execution of the idea, and then the reception. Now, you have to be honest with this thing for one to be able to receive it. And every artist's joy is when the viewer can relate to what exactly you have done. When there's a gap amongst these 3, you can tell that this person is a con artist. You can just tell. It's like every other musician that's trying to jump on the trending beat. And then you can tell the ones that are quite intentional about their practice. So, it just has to complete that cycle psychologically.
Interesting. Just quick one, guys. Can we hear Adibuega when he speaks? No? All right. Can we get another mic? Because he's dropping gems here. I think you should be jotting things down, please. Let's get another mic for him. All right. All right. So, Damla, you had mentioned that your team uses AI. And I was curious about what are some AI strategies that you use in branding and marketing, right? And how, I guess, since you started using it, what would you say has been the difference in the way, I guess, the output of your work looks?
I think I would start with the output. First and foremost, we get more things out in less time, right? So what AI really does is it augments your original idea, right? You don't take it, word for word, and you say you want to implement it. First and foremost, the difference, and I think when we talk about the future of work, is the fact that humans are always going to supersede AI because of the way we think strategically, right? The empathy, the emotion is there. You understand the overall company structure and what exactly the company wants you. Then tailor it to the overall company objective, right? So if a company first and foremost wants to drive acquisition across East African countries, right? Your copywriter don't need to spend 2 days trying to write a copy that's going to go out. You can get that out in 25 minutes, right? First and foremost, you now need to understand, how do I communicate with these people? So what's the language market fit for the market in which we want to reach out to? What is going to be their local context in understanding our product? How does AI bring out all of this information in such a way that they get to understand it? Then how can I correct some of the linguas that sounds very robotic in such a way that